Hi guys, this is Miguel Oliveira, and if you like this video, click here and click here for more.
The race officials give the okay, riders have their eyes fixed firmly on the lights. Just a few more seconds and the Grand Prix of the Americas is go.
Power Romeo, who's going to be our King of Kota in 2022. Great launch off the line by Jorge Martin, likewise Jack Miller. Here comes Fabio Quartararo as well on the inside. Where's Marc Marquez?
He's plumb last,
he missed the
He
start.
had a terrible start. Marc Marquez didn't get away at all. He is right at the very back of the field.
I was looking for him in the top 5, expecting to get a superb launch. A nightmare then for Marc Marquez. The King of Kota dumps all the way to the back of the pack. What on earth happened to Marquez off the line?
Quartararo's up a place. He's got ahead of one of the Pramac Ducatis. It must be Johann Zarco is down in 6th position. The Suzukis have not gained ground. They've both dropped a place. Rins and Mir down to 8th and 9th.
So it's Jack Miller that leads them from the pole man Jorge Martin. As we expected, 4 Ducatis inside that top 4. Great start for Fabio Quartararo. He's already picked off fellow Frenchman Johann Zarco, the world champion there in 5th place. But an absolute disaster for the King of Kota, Marc Marquez, all the way at the back of the grid into that first corner. He's already picked up a couple of places, now into 22nd.
The Suzukis have dealt with Takaki Nakagami already. They're both back up to where they started in 7th and 8th, but the top 2 already building up a bit of a lead up the front. Martin didn't have too much straight line speed, he said yesterday, but he doesn't have any trouble following Jack Miller. Bastianini is coming past Francesco Bagnaia. Bastianini already up into 3rd.
Well, Marc Marquez has launched some stunning attacks from the back of the pack before in his Grand Prix career. If he does it here today in Kota, this will rank as the very, very best. So hard to overtake nowadays in Monday MotoGP. A mountain to climb for Marquez early on here in Kota. There's the name of Bastianini, one of the big pre-race favourites in 3rd place. Here comes Martin up the inside of Jack Miller into turn 19. Beautifully done. Nothing that Miller could do about there. He left the door open. Martin said, thank you very much. Miller, though, trying to exact instant retaliation. He does. Up the inside of the Martinator into turn 20. A great action here early on in Kota between the 2 Ducatis. Miller will lead at the end of lap 1.
Bastianini looked a little bit wide to the final corner. You can see already what Fabio Quartararo's dealing with down that main straight. He's just been blasted past and manages to outbrake Johann Zarco. Looked as if he was going to take 5th position, but that's crucial for Fabio Quartararo. He's been able to get away with that leading group. Already a little bit of a gap back. You can see Rins steaming up the inside of Mir. He's going to get Zarco too. Rins having to bail out of that one ever so slightly, but the Suzuki's already trying to get aggressive. Here's a look at the start. Keep an eye on Marc Marquez, just doesn't get away, just bogs it down completely.
That looks like the launch control or something was still activated, or something there. Look at the data here. Has he got the pit lane speed limiter on, maybe? Something has happened there, hasn't it, for Marc Marquez? I wonder if he's mistakenly got the pit lane speed limiter on. Of course, they're limited to 60 k's an hour, or there was a problem with the launch control. What was not in question, what was not in doubt, was it was a shocker for Marc Marquez. 9th place on the grid, knew he had to be aggressive to try and recover those places early on, and he got dumped all the way to the back of the pack by the time we got to the first corner. It's a top 5 for Ducati in the early part of this Kota Grand Prix, as it was on the grid. Mechanical problem for Marco Bezzecchi. He's getting the black flag with the orange disc. He'll also be getting the message on his dashboard as well. Let's have a quick Marquez check. Next in his sights is going to be Maverick Vinales in 13th place. Down this 1200 metre back straightaway, you're not going to be able to out-drag a Ducati, that's for sure. It's Ducati versus Ducati, versus Ducati, versus Ducati, versus Ducati. And here comes Zarco up the inside of Pecco Bagnaia. Bagnaia hasn't got the early race pace to be expected from him so far, the Italian, although he fights straight back. Zarco nibbing that place on the inside of him at turn 12, just running a little bit hot. Bagnaia swept straight back on through, and he's back in 4th.
Aleix Espargaro is coming under pressure from his brother Paul, I saw in the back of the screens as well. Here is Marc Marquez then. This is the action he's up to. This was him trying to get past Maverick Vinales, and he goes way off. Brett Binder has to suddenly get out of the way. Marquez outbreaking himself completely.
I'll tell you what, he was out of control there, wasn't he? So easy that mistake to make. From the forks bottom out, the rear comes off the ground into turn 1. Plan A certainly for Jack Miller. The thriller leads by a couple of tenths of a second. Zarco again. Can he finally make this move stick on Pecco Bagnaia? Bagnaia's not going to let him have it easily, is he? But this time around, Zarco will have the inside line for the sweep down through this super fast turn 2. Zarco finally then back into P4. The Ducatis are just backing off ever so slightly, and that's bringing Alex Rins and Quartararo back into contention. Here comes Rins up the inside of Quartararo into turn 12. Is he in a little bit hot? It looks like he is, although he'll have the inside line now for 13, yet Quartararo can't turn in. So a bit of a block pass there from Rins on Quartararo into 12.
Rins clearly feels he's got the pace to get further up this leading group. Of course, he's the only rider here to win this Grand Prix, not named Marc Marquez. And Alex Rins, crucially for him and for this pack of Suzukis and of course Fabio Quartararo, but the fact that the Ducatis are still just ahead of them, none of them have been able to make a break out front. They're still very much in touch with the leader. They've just got an awful lot of Ducati GP22s and of course the 21 here of Enea Bastianini to overtake if they're going to get their way to the front.
Yeah, and as it stands, if you threw the checkered flag now, we'd have a tie between Bastianini and Aleix Espargaro for the World Championship lead, going to the crucial European phase of the championship in Portimao in a couple of weeks' time.
Mir now gets past Quartararo. Quartararo drops another place to 8th.
Yeah, our last two MotoGP World Champions having a titanic tussle here in Texas. Is Avantis Mir. What a shot this is on board with Quartararo. Oh, he can almost reach out and touch Mir, can't he, through this snaking first sector. Perfect time to ride on board with Fabio Quartararo. Marc Marquez. Blue on blue, Repsol Honda on Repsol Honda, and Marquez just nudges his teammate Paul Espargaro aside through turn number 12, and Marquez then on lap number 7, finally his rapid recovery continues. He's back in the top 10. Here comes Alex Rins again. We've seen this 2 or 3 times from him. It's the block pass, just trying to find a way through on Zarco. He makes the move again on the brakes into turn number 11, and now is it going to be another demoralising experience as a Ducati just strips the paint off the side of that Suzuki. This time around, yeah, Zarco with a bit of slipstream, not that a Ducati needs it down that 1200 metre back straight. He got in hot though. Now then, can Alex Rins, if he can get ahead of the Ducati here, he's going to have the superior corner speed and the better turning on that Suzuki. This could be crucial now for Alex Rins' podium challenge.
Bastianini on Martin.
Ladies and gentlemen, who is the fastest man on the circuit? It's Marc Marquez in 9th place with a 2:03.619.
Bastianini up to 2nd then. Bastianini, from defending from Alex Rins, has now gone through on Jorge Martin, got past him into turn 1. Miller up the pace on that last lap. He did a 2:03.897, pulled out a lead of 0.7 of a second on Jorge Martin, and that fired Bastianini into action.
Yeah, Quartararo's got big bother coming from Marquez soon. Here comes Alex Rins up the inside of Jorge Martin into turn 7. Beautifully done by the Suzuki man. It's been a poor lap this so far. Then lap 12 for Jorge Martin. He's been picked off by Bastianini. He's been picked off by Rins and dropped from 2nd to 4th.
Rins then into the podium positions. Does he now follow Bastianini up through the field as Bagnaia now has to go on Zarco?
That's a late launch. That is a block pass from Pecco Bagnaia. He was almost at a standstill, wasn't he, at the apex of turn number 11. He really disrupted Johan Zarco's rhythm. That's allowing Joan Mir to maybe launch an attack down this long back straight as well. Don't think Mir's going to have the top speed on the Suzuki to get through. And Zarco trying to pay back on Bagnaia. Oh, that's a raid. That's not going to work out. And he's going to lose places to Pecco Bagnaia and to Joan Mir. That was just Johan Zarco getting a little bit frustrated there, not liking the fact that Bagnaia blooded his nose into turn number 11, and he runs in too hot at turn 12.
The two Pramac Ducatis, both Jorge Martin and Johan Zarco, starting to slip backwards. Here's Marc Marquez then on the 93 in 9th position. His gap to the leader is 5 seconds. Probably too much for Marc Marquez to make his way all the way to the front. But can he now get himself into this top 6? Fabio Quartararo is doing his level best. He's lapping in the 2:04s, but he just doesn't appear to have the pace to go with this group. It's only mistakes ahead of him that might present an opportunity for the reigning world champion.
So we saw big moves from Enea Bastianini and from Alex Rins on that lap number 12. Is there tyre conservation really coming to the fore? Bastianini's got into his groove. A 2:03.845 on that lap 12 was a PB lap from the Italian as Marc Marquez starts to hunt down the world champions Fabio Quartararo. Again, folks, who is starting to really get the hammer down. It's the king of Kota. He's coming, Marquez. Fastest man on the circuit at 2:03.553. That was 0.6 quicker than Quartararo ahead of him.
Quartararo's not going to know which way to look in a moment. He's still shaping up for a move on Johan Zarco. Quartararo visibly faster, just looks to have more grip, just carrying superior corner speed than the Frenchman up ahead of him, Johan Zarco. But Quartararo, big problem for him, as we've seen time and time again, finding way through. Here he goes.
Brilliant that by Fabio Quartararo. That was a A real big nudge on Zarco, wasn't it, to 7. Zarco sent out to the marbles, and that allows Marc Marquez through then. Marc Marquez picks up another place. He's up now into 8 spots.
And he'll soon be having a look at Fabio Quartararo as well. Mir now having a look at the inside of Martin too. Mir now moving up into 4th position.
Yeah, Jorge Martin and Johan Zarco going the wrong way right now here in Kota. Joan Mir, that was an aggressive move at turn number 11. He made it work though. Mir now then up into 4th place, although he's coming under immediate attack. Can he somehow fend off 2 factory Ducatis in the braking zone for turn 12? He can. That's supreme confidence in the front end of that Suzuki from Joan Mir. That's brilliant aggression from him. Marquez has got through by Fabio Quartararo. The 93 attack continues unrelenting. Marquez then now up into 7th
position. Yeah, Jorge Martin will be his next target. This is an incredible ride from Marc Marquez. Gets Quartararo down the back straight.
In a few minutes, the top 3 riders will arrive for their welded